Hello, we are live, and thanks for everyone joining us that is here right now tonight on those endless mysteries. Now, I got a discussion I want to have on UFOs again tonight since we left off Tuesday kind of early. And tonight, I got a couple articles I want to go over. The first one will be from the USA Today. It's titled Upcoming UFO Report Will Be Difficult to Explain, former National Intelligence official says. Now, in the story, a former top national intelligence officer hinted that an upcoming government report on UFOs will be included information that cannot easily be explained. They are in insistence where we don't have good explanations for some of the things that we've seen. And when that information becomes declassified, I'll be able to talk a little bit more about that, former director of national intelligence, John Ratcliffe, told Fox News Remo on Friday. Ratcliffe said some UFO sightings have been declassified in the past, but a report to be released by the Pentagon and other federal agencies will present more information to the American people. There have been sightings all over the world, Ratcliffe said. And when we talk about sightings, the other thing I will tell you, it's not just a pilot or just a satellite or some intelligent collections. Usually we have multiple sensors that are picking these things up. Ratcliffe said elements that are hard to explain in the unreleased sightings include movements that are hard to replicate or traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without creating a sonic boom. The report is expected to be released on June the 1st. So that one's from USA Today, and it was written by Dustin Barnes. So I find that one a little interesting. I mean, they're sitting there pretty much telling us that something's coming. That is, if it gets released, because I do have another story to go over with y'all here in a little while. But if these objects they're seeing are doing all this, breaking the sound barrier without making a sonic boom, that should almost be impossible, at least far as human technology goes. Um, we also have a lot of other things happening as well. And I want to go in this other article too, so we can get both articles out there in the limelight. And once we get this next article out there, okay, and it's titled Pentagon Watchdog Investigating Military Handling of the UFO Sightings. Now, just them investigating how the Pentagon is handling their UFO sightings, I wonder if this investigator is there to find out why these videos has leaked and the military had to own up to them, or are they there to maybe cover it up and put it back to bed, or could they be actually wondering how to make the sighting reports come out easier? I'm not for sure, but let's get into the article. The Pentagon's watchdog is investigating the military policy around how it handles sightings of unidentified flying objects. The Department of Defense, or the DoD Office of Inspector General, said in a memo Monday that it will be conducting evaluations into the extent to which the DoD has taken actions regarding unidentified aerial phenomena. It added, we may revise the objective as the evaluation proceeds, and we will consider suggestions from management and additional or revised objectives. Now, the move as the Pentagon confirmed several UFO sightings were real over the past year. Most recently, the Defense Department last month confirmed that a leaked video taken by Navy personnel of a triangle-shaped object flying through the sky was real. Last year, the DoD released three videos of UFOs that were previously leaked in 2007 and 2017. One of the videos was recorded in 2004, and two others were filmed in January of 2015. The Pentagon established a task force under the Navy in August to improve its understanding of and gain insight into the nature and origins of UAPs, it said at the time. The mission of the task force is to detect, analyze, and catalog UAPs that could potentially pose a threat to U.S. national security, the agency said. The Pentagon is expected to send a report to Congress regarding UFOs on June the 1st, according to military.com. The report is required under the FISL 2021 Intelligence Authorization Act, which was passed as part of the ominous COVID-19 relief bill in December. So that's what I have on those articles so far. And what I'm wondering is, is that inspector going there to maybe try to cover this up again, or we may not even see it come January 1st because it was supposed to be in May. So I find that very interesting that they're having an investigation going. And so let's see if we got any questions or anything coming in yet. See, Levi, wondering why they all of them suddenly releasing the report. Well, the report's coming out. It's something for the military just to be verifying that these are true unidentified flying objects or unidentified aerial phenomena, as they started calling them. They are. I don't know if they're maybe setting up to release more, or if it's some kind of, or the videos got released and now they're trying to cover themselves. I'm not for sure because I know the videos was leaked, and so they could be just trying to cover their own path to make sure that they don't get into trouble with the government. And there's a lot of stuff going on with senators and Congress people wanting to know on this subject what's going on, and it's been hush hush for so long that I'm hoping we get somewhere with it, but I'm not for sure if we will. Like I said, they already got someone investigating the Pentagon on exactly what's going on. So they could come up and say, well, this person's decided there's nothing to it and we not see a thing again. See, another one from Levi. I caught some pretty intriguing photos on my deer cam Sunday night. Oh, well, that sounds cool. I would, if you'd like to share those pictures, I would love to see them sometime. You can send them to neverendlessmysteries@gmail.com. That's our email address here for the channel. And if you'd like to send them, and maybe I can do a video on the sighting report and share it with the people online here. Yeah, from Bigfoot Woman 65, she says, yeah, that she would like to see them too. So if you would maybe think about sending them to us, maybe we can, I can get them on and show them to everybody. So that would be kind of cool. I'd show him, see what there's another one from Levi. I'd show him, see what he thinks, give him a pretty weird story with it too, 100% true. Like I said, Levi, if you would like to send the pictures and the story through the email, neverendlessmysteries@gmail.com. I would love them, and I would tell your story and get it out there for the people to hear and understand. So I would love to see those pictures and talk about them more. See, how long will this study go on? From Mr. Ferguson. Well, the Pentagon, the Army, Air Force, all the militaries always said that they wasn't interested in following up on UFOs. But all of a sudden, we find out that they've been doing it for years and pretty much covering everything up. So that shows you how far we can trust our military, I guess. They can be into something, researching it, covering it, but yet, when a normal person out there sees the same craft, I mean, like they said it was pyramid, these last ones that was leaked, they said are pyramid shape, but it looks more triangle to me. And the triangles has been going on. People have been seeing them all over the world since the 1980s. So, okay, let's see if we can get into another one. But as far as long as they will study will be going on, I don't know how long they will be investigating. But I know we're supposed to get information um, coming out on June the 1st. It was supposed to be this month in May, but they had to put it off because there's so many documents I guess they're having to go over before they can release to Congress, and then Congress can release them to the people. So either way on that, I'm hoping it comes out June the 1st, but sometimes I wonder, is it ever going to come out? Are they going to actually just break down and tell us what's in our skies or not? I've never been really big into UFOs. I said that on Tuesday night show. So I just find it interesting that all this is going on and they're talking about it now. But still, I don't think it's becoming um, as much as a story as I think the news organizations, like I said, Tuesday night show, I don't think that they're coming across and showing as much and talking about it in our news. I mean, this should be a big story. I mean, the government actually showing that these objects are there, that they're reading them and scanning them on multiple devices, but yet I tune in, you see one little story, um, or if they do cover it on like a news channel like CNN or Fox or whatever, it's like a 2 or 3 minute subject, and then they just kind of lead it off, blow it off. I don't know if the scientists and the reporters has been told so much not to discuss it because it leads them, you know, don't want people to think they're crazy or whatever. But yet, if this is going on, they need to come together and research. I mean, a lot of our scientists out there should be going over this and researching this like mad. I mean, I'm not even into the UFO scene, and I find it just absolutely profound that all this stuff has been coming out these last few years and nobody's really talking about it that much. Okay, let's go with Levi. I think they either have failed at intelligence or digging for info. Um, they could be, far as intelligent wise, on these craft. I'm not for sure exactly what they do have. Like the everything's supposed to be released out on UFOs and UAPs June the 1st, and we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping that it comes out, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it because I still think, and if they do, like that last dump, what was it, almost a million plus pages? I forget how many pages it was. And so much of it was redacted out, so people really couldn't even uh, read them, most of them. Um, let's see, what do we got here? From Parents of Zachary, what do the government know that we don't? Um, well, if they've been covering it up, they got the radar probably hits, they got video. Um, they've probably got a lot more knowledge than we know of. They may be classified, but I'm hoping a lot of that stuff does come out and they actually let us read it instead of just a bunch of papers with black lines through it. Because that seems like that's what we got with that last dump for the most part. Anything that looked to be interesting or a certain report, it seems like it was just blacked completely out. But I'm hoping it'll be different this time around. I know, far as national intelligence and stuff like that, they have to keep secrets from us. I mean, they don't want every country out there knowing what we have and what we know. But still, for years, they've been letting people go, letting them think that they're crazy or something like that by just saying they've seen these objects. And the media, especially, has made fun of people and everything. And they see them on videos, but they still just go out, they just go through it. So I hope everyone that's here tonight has some great comments and comes out and gives more questions, because I would like to really get a discussion going here if we can. Because I have a lot of thoughts on it, but sometimes, the old head here, it just builds up in there and I don't get it out the way I want to. Um, but I'm working on getting better here live. Like I said, I've never uh, been on camera or anything much, but I'm trying to get it better and communicate a little bit better with everyone here. See, another one from Levi. I'm hoping they release the photos where the craft is 50 feet away, clear as day, the reporter said. Well, I do too. I mean, they say there's good photos, which I think some of the photos that was released this time showed like three different crafts at, there's at a distance, but you've got some really good details in those pictures. Um, I'm thinking about making a video on the pictures itself and discussing them a little bit, and because they had the triangle videos release, and then they had some still pictures that pilots has been taking from their phones, um, and everything. And that one picture is said to be very clear. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, Levi. I really would like to see that picture also. Um, see, Bigfoot Woman 65. That would be cool to see. Yes, it would. I mean, straight up, that would be a great picture to see, which I think this last video of the what they call in pyramid shape, but I see them as triangles myself. And like I said, these things has been sighted since the 1980s, mid 1980s, and everybody just wrote them off. I mean, there was what they call the Belgian wave. It was these triangle shape, but everybody just wrote them off. Nobody reported on them. And that's what we need. We need more reporting going on these objects. I mean, it could be the story of a reporter's lifetime, and you're just not seeing it. It's like people are asleep or something. I mean, because I find it very disturbing that these things are out there. Because, like I was saying Tuesday night, they could be human made from another government, which should scare everybody. Because when advancement in technology like that leaps over other civilizations and stuff like that, usually it leads to war because they figure they got the advantage and they can do. And right now, as far as the military is saying, they pretty much can't do anything about them. From the interviews that I have seen, they maneuver way better than our jets, our best jets. They're faster. They can go straight up, straight down, maneuver around. So yeah, the maneuverability on these craft are just beyond anything that we're even imagining right now. Okay, here's another one from Bigfoot Woman 65. We are discussing last time about species, or we were discussing last time about species. How many different species has been reported? Like I said, I'm not really big into the UFO scene and the different species. I'm sure there's been 7 or 8 at least, because I know there's been like the Draconians, the Pleiades, Nordics. Um, that I've heard about a type of what is it? What were uh, praying mantis type looking. I don't know why that it just wouldn't come out there for some reason. Uh, but yeah, there's been several different species, and if you look at it with what people are reporting, there's 7 or 8 different types of crafts that we're seeing too. So it's probably just not one spacefaring civilization that's visiting us. It could be several. And I mean, if you stop and think about it, you know, there's thousands of galaxies or over a trillion galaxy. I think the last number I heard was there's over a trillion galaxies in our universe. And within those trillions of galaxies, there are uh, billions of suns or stars, from red dwarfs until massive giant stars. Um, and to think that they're pretty much coming out saying that there's pretty much planets around most of these stars. So that's billions of trillions of chances for life to have established out in the universe. So yeah, I don't think we're the only ones out here. I always wondered how would they get here, but apparently with all the maneuverability and everything, they're way more advanced than we are. So, okay, I got something else here from Levi. These things have a lot of interest in our nuclear bases. They stay around them and our fighter jets all the time. And they're going in and out of oceans. They have unlimited technology. Well, I have to agree there. Um, these craft are said to maneuver just as well underwater than they do through our atmosphere and out in outer space. So some of these beings could be water-based life forms. That's why they travel and they go into our oceans. Um, and far as the nuclear bases, yes, I've heard about a lot of them. Actually, there's over years I've heard a lot about them being around our military bases. They're swarming around our ships, and but yet, our government can't really do anything about it. So I find it very interesting that all this is coming out, and it's not. I mean, everyone around the world actually should be talking more about this because this is one of the more profound um, questions that are we alone? Um, and if we're not, are they coming here? From what it's the videos are showing us, it seems that they are. So, okay, from Tommy Phillips, how many different shapes are UFOs? Well, you got the what they call cigar shaped. You got your standard UFOs. You got your almost flying wings. Um, let me see. You got triangles. There has been reports of like cubes. Um, so there's several good different uh, sizes and shapes and for these vehicles. It's not one vehicle. That's why I think it probably is multiple. Uh, Maybe they're just scientists from other world and they're exploring and they want to check out and see our military capability, or how far we're advancing. And with any civilization, if you want to know how far a civilization has advanced, you look at its military. What is its military up to? And that will give you a lot of knowledge about just how far has a civilization reached. And maybe that's one of the reasons they're staying around our military bases and military ships as much. Or they could be drawn to just the nuclear power itself. Maybe they're reading that it's a nuclear generator on a carrier, and they're just checking it out and seeing if it's a weapon grade, or what it's leading to. I mean, they could be curious about us, but right now I'm very curious about them. With all this new information, like I said, I haven't been into UFOs that much, but I'm actually been reading the last few days a lot about it and trying to cover as much knowledge as I can about it, because I haven't been really high up on it. Is it a threat to all mankind? They could end it pretty quickly, looks like. Well, I would say yes, Levi. Even if it's from another civilizations here on Earth. Say if it's maybe Chinese, for example, and we're not looking into it. Sorry about that. That's my little dog. He's just barking. I think he's wanting out. Will you let him out, please? Thank you. But I believe that now it threw me off. Let me get back into it. I believe, like, if it was a Chinese from another government that has made this kind of a technological breakthrough, that we could be in some serious trouble that way. I believe if it is some kind of interdimensional being, that we could be in a lot of danger as well. Now, from UFOs, yeah, we could still be in danger, but at the same time, if they've been here as long as they have, I wonder, are they just watching us, studying us, or could it be leading to something? I mean, at these kind of distances, it might be some kind of scout ships, maybe. It's kind of strange. But yeah, I mean, I think either way, if it's not our technology here in the U.S. and we're not looking after all the other countries, then whoever it is, sooner or later, it does lead to, when some country or whatever, race of people or group of people makes a technological leap like that, it usually leads to war. So I'm more afraid about it actually being a foreign adversary of ours than I am about the UFOs right now. It needs to be talked about more for sure. That it does, Levi. That's one of the reasons, like I said, I've never really been into the UFO community or researched it a lot. I watch some shows about it every now and then, but I've never been really into it that much. But here lately, I'm getting all this information, and it's just mind blowing to me why this isn't being talked about a lot. They stopped a plane in the midair. Oh, they stopped a plane in midair at 40,000 feet, and they can stop an ICBM no problem. Well, yes, if you believe some of the reports I've seen in some of these shows where they've actually shut down um, our missile silos, and made them unable to fire. So yeah, they're advanced enough. If they're advanced enough to do that, then yeah, I mean, we may not even be able to fight back if they are hostile. You know, and I find that disconcerting. You know, in in some ways, you know, these things could just wipe us out, or pretty much enslave the whole world if it wanted to, if they wanted to. But so far, it don't seem like they're wanting to do that, and that's one of the reasons I'm hoping that it is aliens, because they seem to be holding off. Maybe they're just watching to see if we destroy ourselves. Um, World War III intervene. That is a good possibility, Levi. Maybe they're just keeping an eye on us, and maybe they will intervene if it goes that far. Because maybe for some reason they want to see us manage to become a space-bearing society. But we'll have to see. They could just be waiting around and watching, and um, they've never seen species annihilate themselves before, and maybe they're just sitting around hoping to see us annihilate each other. It's a hard question for sure. Uh, I believe if they were hostile, we would know. Well, from Bigfoot Woman 65, I believe that if they was truly hostile, that we would know. But are some of them hostile and some of them maybe not? And maybe, you know, you hear about all these old writings, especially in like, what is it, Hindu, where the Amadas, or I think that's what they was called, would fight, and where they would see spaceships fighting off from us. I mean, maybe there's a benevolent civilization ran off the malevolent. So you know, it's just, and they're just watching over us. You know, that's the only thing that I'm hoping for myself. Um, See, parents of Zachary, it makes you wonder who made us, Adam and Eve or aliens. Well, you know, life is showed itself to be able to live in some of the harshest conditions just right here on Earth. I mean, you got microbes that lives in sub-zero weather. I mean, 2 to 300 degrees below zero, and these things are still crawling around in the Antarctic and stuff through the ice. Um, then you got some organizations can live in mud, bacteria and stuff that lives in volcanic mud spouts where they're 300 or 400 degrees that would about burn a person. So yeah, life is strange. It seems to be able to survive wherever there's any kind of water. Seems like life only needs water to really take off. See from Levi also, my personal opinion, they're not from Earth. Well, that's what I'm hoping. Because if they're not from Earth, that means their supply lanes and stuff would be so great uh, for like to start a war or battle or something. They would have to cross that distance with their supplies. So, but and again, with their technology, it may be just like opening a door and sliding in right into next to us. So, either way, I mean, it could be a good thing. I'm really hoping. Um, from Levi also. Remember the signal in the 50s and 60s. They said change their ways. They couldn't figure out where the signal came from. Could be World War III intervened. Uh, I'm trying to think which signal you're talking about. Like I said, I'm not really big on the UFOs. I'm just really last 3 maybe 4 weeks since all this stuff been coming out. I started reading a lot, and now I'm not completely caught up. I'll be honest with you, Levi, on everything. But I'm trying to read as much as possible on this because I find it just mind-boggling why it's not being reported more on. Um, because either way, as a species, we could be in danger, and maybe that's why they're being told to just calm down, don't really talk about it much, just throw some of the little stuff out there, because maybe the government knows they're hostile, or maybe our government has made moves and been hostile towards them, and worried about something happening. See, it took over everybody's TV. Oh, that was the video. I remember seeing something about that, and I can't remember where. It was. They said they was come in peace, and they had. I do know what you're talking about now, but I can't remember the exact uh, phrase of it. But yeah, I have seen that on TV, and I forget what they called it. It took a. Are aliens only in the USA? Question. Parent Zachary. No, they're seen all over the world. I mean, I'm pretty sure if there's alien races out there, they wouldn't just be coming to the United States for one reason or another. They would be all over the world, and that's where they seem to be. Uh, there are a lot of sightings in Russia, China, Germany, France. Some of these countries are kind of open about it. Chile, in the last few years, has become really open about their sightings. Um, and France has had a few meetings with some UFO researchers actually, and talk and discussed more about what they're going through. See, Galactic Alliance from Levi. I mean, they may be. I mean, I can't see why they wouldn't be, if, especially if you got like a hostile race out there. And a lot of people talks about these draconians, and they're supposed to be very hostile. And why wouldn't the other ones kind of link and share their resources to protect themselves, becoming something like the UN or something like that, to protect all their worlds from invasion from these other aliens? So, and if y'all have any more questions or um, anything else you want to discuss, tonight, just throw them in there. I'll be glad to. That's where the alien said it was coming from in the signal. Okay. Yeah, the Galactic Lines. Um uh, a lot of people says they come from different areas in the sky. Like at one village, I saw a video on. They're in Africa, way away from everybody, and yet they have what would you say, kind of like their genesis is that these aliens came and helped uh, guide them and gave them some technologies, and they was from what was it, Sirius. I forget the village name, but it is out there in Africa. And but like I said, I should know more about this. But like I said, I've never really been into it more. But I remember seeing little bits here and there. But I'm gonna have to really brush up on it. Maybe binge a lot more on some of these documentaries, um, just to get more comfortable with talking about the aliens or the alien craft, because we're not 100% that they're aliens. We can't just call them aliens. We just know that these craft are here and they're doing some remarkable things. I mean, anything from, like something that we cannot do for sure is break the sound barrier without making a sonic boom. But yet these are craft are said to be able to do that, and I mean supersonic speeds, and not even make a sonic boom ahead of them. From Bigfoot Woman 65, what do you think about the scientists decoding the signals? I think they can be interpreted any way. Yeah, I mean, if we get a signal, if they did see a signal from coming from that far off, I mean, it could be very weak. I mean, radio signals blends in with the background radiation after a while, and some signals, if they're far enough away, I mean, we'd probably never pick them up on radio and get in any signals that away. Um, so I do believe that it would be hard to pick up radio signals from extraterrestrial civilization, especially if they may be out of our own galaxy. Uh, it would just blend in so much with the background radiation that you're just not going to pick anything up. Um, okay, Bigfoot Woman 65. I mean, how do they really know what is being said? Um, I don't think they would, for one matter. I mean, it's going to be something probably completely foreign to us. And being in signals, I don't see them actually being able to decipher it, especially if the signal isn't strong to begin with. And at some of these distances, you just know that it's not going to be a strong signal. I mean, even if it's still within the Milky Way, if you're 100,000 light years out, the time that signal gets to us, it's basically almost just background radiation. So I don't see how they would be able to decipher or pull up a strong enough signal in the first place. They might be able to read a light signal that there was something there, but I don't think it'd be anything that they'd be able to really decipher or talk about. Um, so there, and if there's any more questions and any more comments, and like I said, I would like to know what the government has, and I'm hoping it does come out June the 1st. But with them actually assigning someone to investigate how and why they're investigating these sightings, I'm just wondering if that person's there to kind of sweep it under the rug again and try to get it off the radar, or are they really wanting to help and really get to the bottom of what these craft are? I'm hoping it's they really want to get to the bottom of what these craft are. But again, like I said, with the government, when it comes to the UFOs or UAPs, they haven't been really forthcoming. Okay, from Bigfoot Woman 65. What is your opinion on USOs? The ocean is so deep that man can't go there. They must have better technology for their crafts to go that deep. Well, yeah, a lot of USOs, unidentified submersible objects, they have been a lot of discussion on those. That I've seen documentaries where the government has followed them for and tracked them for like 3 weeks at a time before they just would just disappear off of everything. Um, and if they are a species under there that has developed into a dominant technical society, I would think we would have heard something from them. We've run into them. They might have wanted to make contact. But then again, if they're under there in their own little world and they know we can't reach them, but yet they're wanting to go out in space, I mean, maybe. I mean, there could be a civilization under our oceans, but I find it harder to believe than it being just an alien civilization for it to be a civilization under our own oceans. So, well, I think we're almost 45 minutes into this one. And I know we talked a lot Tuesday night about this also. So I think we're just going to go ahead and call that a night. And I want to thank everybody that has joined us this evening. Um, Usually, when it's smaller groups like this, we get some conversations going, and they seem to be pretty good. But when it's just a few of us, there's a lot of questions and comments that don't come in. So I thank everybody. We're going to call that a show. And again, I want to thank everybody for being here. And I hope y'all have a great weekend. And I'll see y'all live again Tuesday night. And I hope everybody comes back. And we'll have a different subject because I think we've had 2 shows on this one. So I think we're going to move to something else. And everybody have a good night. And thank y'all for joining us. Bye bye.